Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Clifford, or call me Daddy Cliff, as you can find it in the channel name, Daddy Cliff, because that's how my children call me. I am a PhD student, final year PhD student in South Korea, and in this channel we cover everything that has to do with admissions into universities in South Korea, how you can go about getting a 100% sponsored admission into any Korean university, into any field, be it in the science or in the arts. And also I cover issues like how to get an outstanding letter of recommendation, how to go about getting one from your past professors, how to write a statement of purpose, and how to prepare your documents for admission. I also cover issues that have to do with education, issues that have to do with how to do well in your studies. So if you think those are the topics that might be of interest to you, you might want to subscribe to the channel. In this video today, we are going to look at admission into the School of Public Policy and Management, KDI. They have just launched their Masters and PhD admissions for spring 2023, and it is important to know that these scholarships are 100% sponsored, and it's for masters and PhD. I'll show you how to go about getting the different documents, how to get into the online portal. But for this video today, we will be focusing on the scholarship benefits, and then if you have any other thing that you think you might want me to cover, it is okay to comment downward and I will think about making a video about it. Without wasting too much of your time, let's get into it. But remember, you don't have to wait for universities to launch their admissions before you start applying. You can always do preliminary preparation, like prepare before the admissions begin. Remember, this is September. Most universities will open their scholarships this September. Even the Korean government scholarship is expected anytime soon. You should also know that there are scholarships like professor scholarship. I made a video in the past about how to obtain a professor's scholarship, especially for those who are science oriented. If you want to watch that video, you might want to click the link up there and watch it. Getting an admission into any Korean university is very easy. You just need to follow some specific steps and you would get a fully sponsored scholarship. And in most cases, the scholarship package for your monthly sustenance is about $1,000. Without wasting too much time, let's get into how to get admission into KDI's School of Public Policy and Management. Welcome to my tablet. So what you have to do first is go to Google and type KDI School of Public Policy and Management, and then Google will give you the first result, which is the KDI School of Public Policy and Management. Click on that. When you click on that, it will take you to the website. So on the website, you'll find the brochure that I posted on the Facebook group. If you've not yet joined the Facebook group, you might want to consider joining that Facebook group, because I always post every admission that is available in South Korea that is 100% sponsored. So what you have to do is, if you look on the brochure, it says masters and PhD, and then it says the duration is from September 1st to 23rd. Today is the 2nd of September in South Korea, which means this brochure was posted yesterday, and immediately it came up, I posted it on the group. So what you have to do is go down on the page and look for admission. When you click on admission, it will take you to this page where you would find admission Korean, admission international. Click on admission international, and then it will take you to the next page where it says 2023 spring admissions. Click on 2023 spring admission link, and then it will take you to this page where you have online application period. So if you want to submit your application online, you would have to click on the first one, submit application online. In the process of filling out the online application, if you feel like you're having problem with filling out the online application, you should go to this next line which says application guideline and click on application system guide. If you click on the application system guide, it will open up a PDF file that has every step that is on the online application form. You can use it as a guide to fill out the online application. It's very easy, it's not that difficult. Okay, and then you equally have application guideline. That's what we will be looking at today. So but then you equally have application forms. So there is one that is employment verification. Remember, this is a school of public policy. They are training future civil servants on how to go and contribute to the development of their country. Then there is a document for application checklist. These are very important documents because here you will find the application form, you find document where you can like fill out information about your employment history, and then application checklist, which is the documents that you would have to finally submit to the university for them to consider you for admission. So what we'll do is we'll go to application guideline and click on that. It will then download the PDF file which says Spring 2023 application guidelines for international applicant master's program. So you have the different types of master's and PhD programs. Here is the table of content. On page 7 you have scholarships, and then on page 9 you have application documents, and then on page 13 you have apostille and consular authentication, and then there is equally a video essay. All right, let's go to the first one. It says online application plus document upload. So like I said, the application period is from September 1st to September 23rd Korean Standard Time 2022. So the online application is available on this site, and then applicants may apply for only one program. Multiple applications will not be considered. And remember, this is very important. Once you submit the online application, you will not be able to make any changes, including your program. So when you're selecting a program to apply for, make sure that's the program you want, because you will no longer be able to change that program. And then period for document review will begin from September to November 3rd, and then results, if you're successful, the results will be out by the 4th of November, and then they would have to schedule interview from November 14 to 21st, and then final results after documents review. After the documents review and interview, final results will be out by the 7th of December. It is very important to take note of deadlines, and then all documents must be in one envelope. Remember, you apply first online, and then by the 23rd of December we'll make sure that the documents that you use to apply online, documents that you would have authenticated or apostilled, you would then post them to the university. That being said, let's go to programs. These are the master's program. So you have Master of Public Policy, and these are like the courses, what they will focus on. You have Master of Development Policy. They will focus on these programs: sustainable development, international development. And then you have Master of Public Management. They will focus on issues like this one. And then full-time Master in Intellectual Property and Development Policy. will focus on intellectual property and innovation policies. It is important that you know the details of the program before you apply and see if they will fit to your educational needs. You have other details like duration, full time. You might want to download this document and read more details. Not to make this video long, let's go to the next slide. Also, you should take note of academic qualifications. Before applying, make sure you fulfill the requirements so that you don't waste your time applying when you would not be considered. For example, it says if you're applying for a master's program, you must meet one of the following terms: a bachelor's degree holder from an accredited college or university, minimum of 3 years. Okay, and then for PhD, must meet one of the following: both bachelor's and master's degree holders from accredited universities or college. Take note of those. You should read these things in details. And then now this is where we should focus our attention on: scholarship eligibility. Applicants for master's program who have previously benefited from any of the Korean government or KDI scholarships program for masters cannot apply. So if you know you've already had a Korean government scholarship, especially at the master's level, or maybe you once studied at KDI for another master, you cannot go for the second master. It's not possible. You will not receive the scholarship for another master's. This is it. Then for PhD applicants, if you had once benefited from a scholarship from maybe a Korean government scholarship or maybe another KDI scholarship for a PhD, you cannot reapply for another PhD. They will not give you the scholarship. And then also, international applicants must meet one of the following terms: those with dual citizenship with Korean nationality are not eligible. So if you have two citizenship and one of them is probably Korean nationality, you cannot apply. For you to be eligible, your parents must both be foreign nationals. A foreign national of Korean origin must meet one of the following terms. If you are Korean, if you have Korean nationality, the next thing is that both of your parents must be foreigners, and for the university to confirm that, you would have to provide a certified copy of your parents' birth certificate and your relationship to your parents, and then a copy of your mom and dad's passport to show that they are foreign nationals. On this page, you have scholarship eligibility and benefits. It is always very important to know the benefits of every scholarship before you apply, so that financially wise, you know if the money that you'll be receiving on a monthly basis can sustain your studies. So the scholarship will be decided by the admission committee according to applicants' strength and capabilities. Then this is very important: scholarship benefits are primarily intended for countries named on the dark list of ODA recipients nations as published by ODA. They would most likely receive 100% benefit of scholarship if they are admitted. Like I said, the scholarship is 100%. If you want to know if your country is on a list of dark members, you can click on this link to find out. Also, if a country is not named on the dark list, applicants from those countries may be conferred as partial rather than a full scholarship. So if you're not a member of the dark list, you can equally apply, but you will not receive the full benefits. In that case, you would receive this type of scholarship: Global Ambassador Scholarship or the Seoul G20 Scholarship. Normally, this scholarship is offered to part-time applicants, and it's usually open to Korean residents. You would be conferred that type of scholarship, and it's partial, it's not full. So it is very important that you know that. All right. That being said, this is basically for the KDI scholarship, which is a general scholarship, because there are other types of scholarship. The next one is KDI scholarship general Soul G20 scholarship. This is the one that we talked about, which is partial. For you to be eligible for this scholarship, you must fulfill this condition: having at least 1 year of work experience, internship, fellowship, employment in the public sector, or study research experience in fields related to career studies, not a language studies. You have to fulfill those conditions. It is important to note that the G20 scholarship is applicable for full-time master's program only, except for MIPD programs. They should be able to verify your employment. That's very important. And the document must be issued within 3 months. That being said, the next scholarship is the KDI Special Scholarship, and the scholarship is for applicants nominated, recommended by a special scholarship institution. For the KDI Special Scholarship, it is important that when you're applying online, you equally choose this scholarship. That's why it says applicants nominated, recommended by a special scholarship institution must also choose KDI scholarship when creating an online application. So the scholarship category will be decided by both the institution and KDI admission committee and will be announced in the final result. So when applying online, you should equally choose this scholarship, and you should equally make sure you choose the general scholarship. Now let's look at the PhD scholarship. The previous one was for masters. Now, what are the eligibility and benefits? So the first one is the KDI PhD scholarship. As usual, the admission committee will decide according to applicants' strength and capability, and then accepted students will be given ambassador scholarship. Okay, that being said, it is important to note that when you're applying online, you should choose KDI PhD scholarship, and then when equally applying online, you should equally choose another scholarship. It can be special scholarship. So you choose first for PhD, KDI PhD scholarship, and then choose the second scholarship, and that will be this one, which means in most cases you have to choose at least 2 scholarships when applying online in the online portal. Now let's have a rundown of the documents to upload. The online application is available on this link, and take note of this: name and date of birth must match to your passport. Okay, you would have to prepare a statement of purpose. I have videos on statement of purpose online, you might want to watch them. Okay, you would have to prepare your official documents, diplomas. If you're yet to graduate, you have to indicate. Master's program students have to submit a bachelor that has at least a minimum of 3 years study period, and then PhD students must submit both their undergraduate and graduate, that's undergraduate and master's degree certificate. It is also important that when uploading, you have to upload an apostilled document. You have to apostle your documents before you upload online, and then keep those documents. Once you are accepted, you will have to send those documents that have already been apostilled. So you would have to either apostle or use consular certification. The Korean consulate in your country would have to authentify that document. You'd equally have to submit transcripts, the past transcripts. So for undergraduate, if you're applying for masters, you supply your undergraduate transcript. For those applying for PhD, you have to submit both your undergraduate and graduate transcripts, and they should equally be apostilled. They should be certified at Korean consulate in your country or embassy in your country. It is also important that you make sure you do the grading system, because the grading system in every country is different. So you would have to read this document and then apply the grading system. If you have any problem with the grading system, let me know. You would equally have to provide 2 letters of recommendation, and the recommendations will be sent online, which means you would have to provide the emails of those who would be recommending you, your past professors or maybe your employer's email, so that they would send the professor or your employer a link where he can like access the link and then recommend you. You would equally have to provide English proficiency test scores. That's very important. You have the list of test scores that are accepted by KDI. It is also important to note, if you're coming from an English country, you should read this. If you're not coming from an English country, you should know that the test score will determine your scholarship, if they should give you a full scholarship. And down here you would find countries that do not need to provide test scores. But if you're coming from a country where you need a test score, you'd have to provide a test score. You'd have to provide an employment verification. There's a document that you would download from the website that shows that you've been employed. You can read the details, and then if you have a past thesis or dissertation, you would have to provide, you need to provide other documents like written sample of English, grace course report, copy of your passport, and then you need a photo. That being said, this is the end of it. Expect to have more videos on scholarships in South Korea in this channel. If you've not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. And I equally do videos on learning Korean language. I usually do reels, short videos. You might want to subscribe if you're interested in learning Korean language. Korean language is very easy to learn. It all depends on your interest, your level of interest. If you have the interest, you can learn the language. I know people who've learned the language for less than a year. I know people who've learned the language for 2 years and they are very fluent in the language. And knowing Korean language will make your life easy when you're in the country. So I would highly recommend that you put some time into learning Korean language. That being said, I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.